If you remember last week's photo of skyscrapers in the heart of Seoul, South Korea, this is kind of a counterpart to it. It's in some ways it's kind of the opposite, where instead of these massive skyscrapers against a huge sky and the brightest blue backdrop, we just have some street vendors selling food, literally on the streets of Seoul. When I took this photo, we had taken the kids to a kind of a winter festival, not really a carnival, but it was a winter festival along a smaller river that winds through part of the city of Seoul, not the Han River, but just a smaller river. And there were vendors like this all over the place, like probably 100 vendors like this, selling really good food. Everything, I mean this, everything I had in South Korea was delicious. I didn't have any food where I was like, wow, this is gross. I can't finish it. Everything was good. And I'm not much for street photography. I never really have. I've tried it over the years. It's just not my thing. I feel weird. I feel like I'm intruding on someone's personal space, even though if people are out in a public location, like on the street, I don't think there's any legal prohibitions on taking photos. I just feel weird. It's not my thing. Props to those who do it, just not for me. But here, I kind of relaxed that a little bit. I took a couple photos of people on the street because it was a different time and a place. But the thing is, it's not like, it's just, for me, it's different, but for them, it's not. It's just their daily life. And so I don't know if it's weird to have someone who from another country, very obviously from another country, we stood out there taking photos of you as you're just going about your business. But in this one, I thought, well, this is like, it's a festival. There's people all around with cameras. So I'm not going to feel too self-conscious about it. I think if I had spent several more, I was about to say 5 minutes, a couple more minutes, really considering my angles and considering the steam rising off the food, I probably could have gotten a better shot. But as it is, I think this is fine. Again, Fuji X100F, the only camera I brought with on the trip. It performed like a champ. I shot this at f2.8 just to give myself a little bit of latitude regarding depth of field. And every now and then, my X100F is 6 years old. And even though it is a phenomenal camera, sometimes it's a little finicky when you shoot wide open. So I stopped it down a little bit just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room. I wish you could see the face of the gentleman in the foreground in the red hat. You can see the face of the other guy, but it'd be nice if that was reversed. Like if you could see the face of the subject of the photo, and maybe if the other guy had a covering. But that's what it is. I'm not going to just take your photos for 10 minutes hoping and for the best angle and all that. I don't know. I had like 10 or 15 seconds to take this, and then we kept on walking. So anyway. What this photo does, though, is it captures a whole different side of South Korea compared to last week's photo, which was like these skyscrapers with not a person in sight. Here, it's people, it's food. You can see there's Korean writing, there's drinks and condiments, and there's a variety of food. Like there's so much action going on in this photo. I just find it a really compelling shot. And it was fun to obviously visit South Korea, but also to stretch myself just a little bit with this type of street photography.